conversation.
What's up, man? I'm awake.
Oh, okay. He let us for a second, man. That's the most. Yeah, yo, you know when you get a little flash on a break? That was you right there. I had a little flash on the break. What's up, man? Austin Reeves. There you go. I like him. He got great game. De'Aaron Fox, too. I wish that he didn't waste his time in Sacramento because a small market team, at least like in today's NBA, and the fact that they haven't won a playoff game until yesterday and, you know.
They ain't been to the playoffs.
Or 2 weeks ago, let me say that. Won their first playoff game 2 weeks ago.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
I was like, the fuck are you talking
I know. Last week we dropped the episode with Jonah. Let us know how you guys feel about it. Did a little special thing today in regards to that because I'm going to drop a little soundbite to let y'all know where to go. It's going to be the shortest episode I've ever posted. Hey, we not podding today. Go check us out at Barbershop Confidential is what I left on there. So that's the plan. Just so that we can, you know, satisfy our listenership. Yeah, man, I'm straight, dog.
DJ Normal Ass Carl in the mix.
I had look, you know what? As sick as this may sound, I've been working for like the last maybe 3 months for yesterday, right? Yesterday, and I won't say days because I know how this pod is gonna go. But yesterday, my daughter, squaring up the golf ball right off the face, hitting it in the air, great form. I was so proud. I was more proud yesterday than the day she was born. I swear, because it's and it comes full circle. And the crazy part is that we hit like 20 of them. Right, I try to keep it marginally like her interested because her attention span isn't there. But after like a hour and a half break, she was like, "I want to hit some more." I said, "Oh yeah, it's sinking in. Golf's addicting. If it's in front of you, it's addicting."
Little Michelle Wee.
Yeah, no, hell nah. Hell nah. We going for Venus Williams and all them. I got a joke about that in a little bit. I don't want to tie that in with my daughter, but remind me what Venus Williams, Kim Kardashian, and Robin Givens. Remember what?
They all walked into a bar.
Yeah, no, but did you see the name I posted in the chat yesterday?
Nah, probably not.
Okay, I'm not attaching that to this, so I'll talk about it later. So, but yeah, so it was a proud moment. And then this morning she was like, "I want to go back to the big kids golf course again." So I take her to the real golf course. So she'll be playing with dad in a few years, man. Probably beat me soon. As soon as she beat me, then you can go ahead and meet the final boss, you know. But yeah, little league team doing good. Work is all right. You know, going on the trip soon. You know, everything is up, and I'm coming back with mad stories because crazy stuff is bound to happen, especially when you step outside in the world that we living in right now. So, yeah, man. You know what I thought about? Can you hit my hand claps in case you need? But just be mindful whenever you're done. If you need to update us on anything, I want to talk about hip hop, about like what you just did because that reminded me of an era that I do miss.
What'd I do? I'm
just saying, is there anything you want to update us on? I got to check in with you, or was your check in? F you and get the underside of my balls while you at it.
I'm good, man.
All right. All right. Music. So the one thing that I do miss, I miss the mixtape era. I miss like being able to get like freestyles and stuff like that off. Like,
DJ Clue.
Absolutely. When the tape came out, like Drama and all those guys, and they, I do miss the poor mixing and mastering because, I know the quality isn't that great, but our headphones weren't that great back then either. And I really like G-Unit. Fab was another one of those guys that made like fire ass mixtapes and would be on like a tape. Lil Wayne was another one, even though he's not high up on your list of people to listen to. Jadakiss is another one that comes to mind, right? Like that whole little era. Actually, you can even throw the whole Locks in there period because I like something like Sheek Luch's like solo work. You know what I mean? Never was big on Styles P is cool, but like it's
all right, man. Relax.
It's not the greatest for me. But Sheek Luch to me, I thought it was always just a character, man. Like I miss that era though. And I feel like we're not going to ever go back to that because of streaming and stuff like that and how accessible it is to make music. But for these guys, it meant the big thing to be attached to a DJ and be on those tapes.
Yeah, it's a shame that they can't Like you can't. Why am I gonna go rap on someone else's beat when I can't profit from it?
Right.
So back then it was like it was promo for them, right? Like,
Absolutely.
listen to this because my album coming, and it was a time. And now it's like, oh, why don't I just make mixtapes started becoming like original music, and then it became blended to where we can't even differentiate like what is what, and that sucks. But some of the bigger folks, they are working diligently to try to put them on the streaming service. And I'm assuming for most people, it's just going to be...
What do you mean? Explain that.
Like, So Far Gone is on streaming service.
Yes.
But
Section 80.
I'm pretty sure... But Section 80 is all original music. I'm talking about it's different.
I get what you're saying,
it's different when it's original music versus like, oh, I'm rapping over someone else's beat. Because then, like, I'm assuming the reason it's not is because of sample clearances. But the ones who are actually, like, working to get it on there... I'm assuming it's for the fans because I'm assuming to get those cleared, they're going to have to give up like pretty much the whole rights to the whole song.
That's how damn near what Diddy does, right? What was that stat that they threw out there about Diddy and every step I take?
Oh, but that's paying for a sample for a song that he made. But I'm talking
the figures was crazy though.
No, but it came out that it wasn't real.
Oh, okay. There we go.
And it didn't make like Diddy's a businessman. Ain't no way that song is generating $5,000 a day 25 years later.
No.
Even day one, no matter how much of a hit it was, to where it makes sense for me to hold it.
I don't even hear the original that often. Who sings the original? I can't think of dude's name.
Sting?
Don't get mad at me like that. Yeah. Don't look at me like I'm missing out on white classics.
I feel like you
No,
you have heard that song.
My shit stops at McDonald's. You know what I mean? Like it doesn't go to Sting. I know the song. Every step you take.
I'll be watching you.
I know the song. I just don't know the artist. That's what I'm saying. Like I don't.
That's fair.
Yeah,
that happens to me a lot.
I've never paid that shit in my car, or it's not in my Serato, nothing like that, dog. I ain't doing that. It just can't be for me. But yeah, I do. I miss. I don't know. Do they even still do Freestyle Fridays? That shit you wasn't outside for. But do they still do Freestyle Fridays on 106 in Park? Or
I don't think 106 in Park's a show anymore. I don't think it's been a show for quite some time.
I hadn't been watching it.
No, yeah, I get it.
It had got really watered down. Like my 106 in Park turned into actual battle rap. And that's what keeps me like for me, because I do respect the culture, and I do respect bars and like metaphors and stuff like that. But I want to hear it on the acapella now. I also miss being able to search acapellas and stuff like that, like in music search engines and beats and instrumentals and stuff.
Yeah, real nasty. Like when I used to have like subs in the car, and it was like,
oh, there we
perfect,
go, memory lane.
But then you got this nasty acapella mix. Like it's not even that fact that it's acapella; it's a nasty mix on a burnt CD. Of like Big L from 1997.
Oh man, that shit.
It's just blaring through the window, and they're like, "Where's the bass at?" There's no beat.
Like my man with the black Air Forces when he came out the car going to see your girl. I sent you that video.
Yeah. He definitely was wearing those.
Yeah. Oh man,
bubble jacket.
That was a great time, man. Any new music? Any music appreciation stuff you want to get out? I know you be keeping your ears to the streets. Hey, my man Lex is versatile while he pulls that out. Because last week he came in with the super extra long shorts. And then State Farm did a whole commercial on that shit with Chris Paul. Now he got the knees out, man. He is versatile, man. Clean gray tee.
Yeah. I woke up like this. I was outside yesterday.
Oh, man.
Still got my earrings in.
Don't do that. As men, we never want to take the... Hey, I did a good job. You can't say that. Nah, don't do that. I even told you that. I wore this in DC.
Nah, because I usually whatchamacallit, I just like roll out in like whatever I slept in. That's why it's like big shorts or whatever, or the tee I slept in. But I was like, I was out. So
yeah. You hear the Peanut Gallery? She said, you ain't want to tell nobody that. Black moms will always get you. I thought about that because Adele dressed the kids up for
Wash
Easter.
Your ass.
Yeah. Adele dressed the kids up for Easter. I'm like, yo, I'm wearing this. Like I I done spent enough time with them putting all that grease on my face and shit like that, man. You not about to get me dressed up. I'm wearing whatever the fuck I want to wear. Don't even look at me crazy. You want to go out there in that white flowy dress? Go ahead, but I'm wearing gym clothes, all right? Leave me alone. Anything in music that you want to get off, or we good?
Nah, I'm chilling.
All right, go ahead. My hand class, man. I did want to have that little talk about memory lane real quick, man. You get a chance to look at the random shit to fill in time?
Sort of.
No,
I also couldn't see nothing with my glasses.
Without your glasses situation?
Yeah.
It's all bad. That put a damper on your day. Look how sick he is. That's because you got to wear them on your face.
I woke up like, damn, I'm already 250 in the hole. And all I did was open my eyes.
Bro, you go get them fixed somewhere. You probably find somebody in National City that'd do it for you.
No, I'm just about to. I'm about to go get the Kirkland joints for the next few months.
You just looking the thing to match your hand.
I'm already I can see the BBL now. Look,
Boy said he getting the IBBL. That's crazy.
Going to TJ and we gonna get right.
All right. Do you think acting tough is a defense mechanism?
For sure.
All right, then give me.
It's kind of like forgot. I'm sure it's more than one, but like in the animal kingdom. It's like, hey, let me. If I get rah, then like maybe I shouldn't fucking try him. But then you got to be confident in that rah, because if someone like I see right through that shit.
So that's like an applicable. I guess that's like I guess it runs on both sides then too, because even me acting tough as an aggressor, like comes off as like, yo, like this is my territory type.
Like
thing.
the puffer fish, right? It's like hella tiny. Everyone's like, yo, I'm gonna punk the shit out that little puffer fish, but then it puffs up. And it gets big, and they're like, "Oh shit, can't fuck with him."
I think he has thorns too, right? Some of them.
Yeah, I mean, or it looked like thorny or whatever, but it's just, it's mostly, it's the ones that don't act tough, but they don't say nothing.
Those are become the dangerous dudes.
The
now.
ones that are like, if you're puffing up and they're just like, "Cool, what's up?" Then I'm like, "Oh shit."
That's you.
What you mean?
I don't know what your hands is like. You ain't had to use them in a while either.
I exercise one muscle. That's the strap thing.
Yeah.
And I can't call it how I see
Say
it.
that shit for Jonas Pod.
I ain't no big buff dude.
Oh,
I'm
man.
a rap singer.
I had to think about that though, man, because it was like, yo, like what is it about certain things that will like get me clicking, right? And it's like, yo, tone, the way you saying something, right? And I try to exercise grace because I do realize that like, hey, being angry and stuff like me flashing on whoever it may be doesn't like serve me anything, right? Because I'm not coming for you. I don't have a list, that I'm trying to get off right now. So like I try to like give people the benefit of the doubt, but I do feel like it is a defense mechanism because if I feel like you are attacking me to the point where it's like, yo, fam, I feel like you really trying to get at my character right now, I have every reason to like get angry and have a defense mechanism like present right now of lashing out or trying to act like I'm tough or whatever. But in essence, none of us are 100% hard all the time. Pause. But
jokes in there.
Yeah, and that was community safe. But I mean, none of us are like that. So when's the last time you had to flash on somebody just to be able to like get your defenses off?
I felt like if I flashed on somebody, it wasn't a defense mechanism. I was playing offense.
Yeah, explain this to me.
I feel like I ain't really done that. It was probably that Costco parking lot story.
Oh,
it happens a
yeah.
lot at Costco or Walmart. I know that.
What is it about these places?
I don't know. It's the aura, man.
Because like you went to like the hockey game where there's a bunch of people, like the aura.
I was in the box.
That is the one place
With
to not be
civilized folk.
courteous though, right? Because if you make a lap through the first 3 stalls, like the lanes or whatever, ain't shit there. It's like, yo, you know what? I'm not gonna be out in this parking lot for 30 minutes. So it's like,
But I have VIP parking. I was in the
what
box.
do you mean VIP parking?
I didn't know there was a parking lot on that side of Staples Center.
Okay. I thought you meant at Costco. I was like,
I usually got to park at Skid Row.
I thought you was talking about at Costco. There's no VIP parking.
No, I park where I can. The thing that really irritates me though is like shopping etiquette.
Okay,
like where people just stop in the like the middle of the aisle.
Yeah,
and not Costco got big ass aisles, but they'll still find a way. Like, come on, man. like you're gonna put your whole big ass cart next, waiting for the sample, knowing people are trying to get in and out of this little hole right here, and you ain't got a care in the world.
You know what is an act of aggression though, based off of what you just said. When that happens, I turn to a dumb like, yo, man, people be killing me with their shopping carts right here in the middle. Like, that's aggressive. That's passive.
Yeah, I get real passive.
That's
I'm
real
like,
passive aggression right there.
But I'll say something out loud. Like, damn, like, y'all stop anywhere.
Hey, passive aggression is fire, though.
I have to.
I love passive aggression.
It's like letting it out.
Yeah.
Because if I hold it in, then I might just like hem you up next to the Cheerios.
No, let's have a real conversation about passive aggression, because like the truth of the matter is that I don't want to full on be aggressive with you because I don't want to take it there to a fight. Passive aggression to me doesn't lead to, hey, you're automatically getting these hands. It leads with sarcasm because I don't like the situation that you're doing right now.
Yeah.
And we could take it there if you want to. It's like a feeler.
And it's so passive. Like I could easily say, excuse me, but I won't do that.
Yeah,
I'll just stand
that's
there.
Passive aggression too,
I'm just
though.
going to stand there and I want you to finally realize and turn around and be like, oh, and then go over. And then I'm gonna keep it pushing. And then when you're doing the aisles where everyone kind of does like one aisle to the next, so you keep running into the same person on the opposite aisle, and you're like, "Fuck! I just seen you. I just threw you shade, and you still ain't got no care in the world."
Not at all.
They be living in my head rent free the whole trip.
Oh, here we go. Passive aggressive behavior is a pattern of indirectly expressing negative feelings instead of openly addressing them.
Yeah. I know what I'm about to talk about in my next therapy session.
Oh, man. There's a disconnect between what a person who exhibits passive aggressive behavior says and what he or she does.
Like, I'll just pull up next to him. I'm like, damn, that's crazy. But it really pisses me off at Walmart because them is like a cart and a half wide, fucking wide aisles, and then they usually got those pillars in the middle to where you can't you can only go on one side.
So I would say then this: I have substituted, like I've been trying to substitute now, right? I feel like it's a step in the right direction, right? Hard, tough guy exterior aggression, especially like that. That started with me with clothing. Right? Like now, it started with clothing. I'll tell you, actually, I got a whole list to run off of shit that I've changed now.
Real thug life back then.
Yeah, like clothing for sure, right? Like we used to wear big baggy shit. I was giving you shit about the clothes and shit like that. Like we was giving that
those
look
are
off.
from that era.
Yeah, but that whole era of big baggy clothes, like I had read that, like, yo, when the prisons used to give people clothes when you would go to jail or whatever, they was way too big, right? So like, that's why dudes was sagging in the first place, or you was batting for the other team. So you was trying to show
sagging in jail
is crazy, right? And so, right,
that's a passive aggressive way of knowing that you down.
But there's a lot of AI clips coming out lately, right? I don't know why I keep running into AI clips, right? But they keep coming up. So like for him, the way he dressed or whatever, he was the reason why the NBA had to do all the dress code stuff, right? But he wore the baggiest of shit. And it was more so to show like, yo, I'm down with the culture. I'm cool. I'm cool. Like I know tough dudes. I know rich dudes or whatever. And this is just me doing me. But then when I look at it from another spectrum, right, I let that clothing go. I don't push my seat back, right, when I'm driving in the car anymore or whatever, right? My responses to people when they talk to me, it ain't what's up or what's good, dog, you straight? Like, I ain't even got to talk like that. Hey, brother, how's your day going today? Right?
Well, I don't do that because I'm not on that type of time because I'm
to
the
keep
last
up
thing
the
I want
energy
to
is
do
crazy.
is fight.
Yeah. Me too, though.
Even if I'm confident in the fight, I don't want to do it.
And anyone who's well, for me, especially for someone who's down to fight,
fighting's not fun.
it's not. Like it's a waste of energy.
Like even if I win, I'm gonna feel hurt.
Yeah.
I don't want to be sore. I didn't stretch.
That's old age right there, though. That's like you telling the truth, man. Like yo, I'm not really win. No one's really winning. No one wins when the family feuds. Consistent behavior of communicational harmful patterns usually arises from a hostile motive, but may seem neutral or accidental. I love passive aggression. Hey man, so you just gonna leave all this right here?
Yeah.
yeah.
Passive aggressive is my bag.
Yeah,
100% of the day.
I can't, and people
because
say,
I love sarcasm.
Yeah, sarcasm.
So I just want to throw that in there anytime I can speak in that way. I'm like,
let me ask you this then, based off of what we talking about, right? Because what I do is I pick at my stepson and my daughter, right? I pick at them all day long about passive aggressive things because I want them to have a harder exterior shell. Is that something that you work on with your kids?
Yeah.
And I feel like that is the direct path to stopping all the bullshit that we've allowed to happen in the last 10 years.
Like a couple of weeks ago, we was at the park and some dude rolled up on a basketball court and he tried to like take over. And he was real odd. Like, I don't know. I was like, what kind of rules are you setting for this game? Like, half of the time, hey, we're on teams, pass me the ball so I can shoot. And then the other half is like one-on-one. And he was like shooting like 4 free throws for a foul. And I'm like, dog, what basketball game were you watching?
This a kid?
Anyway, yeah. And I can see in G's face, he's like, yo, this kid is weird. Like, he doesn't know how to play the game.
He trying to tailor-made it for him.
But at the same time, he just kind of rolled up and like took the ball, and G's like looking at me for guidance, like, what do you want me to do? And I was like, keep playing. It was like, if he take the ball from you, take it back. If he fouls you, foul it. Like, cause she's over here like, you're not gonna do anything. I was like, I'm giving him a chance to see how he reacts in a real world situation.
Right.
And he handled himself fine. But I was like, hey, if he does something, do it. Like, don't let nobody punk you.
That's the difference between
he went
moms
up on
and
he went
dads,
up on a shot and he got fouled pretty hard. And then she's always ready to fight a child. And I'm like, nah, like let him, he can handle himself.
Well, yeah.
Even though he don't got the aggressive bone in his body and he's just like, whatever. So people like, he's like open to being punked. Like on the surface, it's like, nah. If they do something, like don't let nobody do that to you. And like, he's all like trying to walk off with the ball. And I'm like, all right, at this point, he's not, I got to say, I'm like, hey, little man, like, that's my rock. And he's like, oh, yeah, I'm just going to get my drink. I was like, well, the ball don't need to go with you. And he came back and G was like, that was weird. And I'm like, yeah, but just, a foul is a foul. Like, people get fouled.
All day
but
long.
At the same time, like, nah, don't let nobody like take the ball from him. Go up. And if he does put his hands on you or whatever, then don't let him do it.
That's crazy because you said that because I was reading one of these last instances of passive aggression. It said contributing factors include childhood trauma, low self-esteem, and stress.
Well, there you go.
Nah, man. But see, I can address something though, right? Like you more of a sulker, right? There's nothing wrong with that. I'm not holding that against you.
I think there would be something wrong with that.
Yeah, with what?
Sulking?
There's something wrong with always feeling like you got to dress up too. You can pinpoint anything, man. I feel like if you have a mixed trick of bags of how to effectively communicate, the one piece that they missing about this, because people say, oh, passive aggression or aggression is not wanted. But if I don't fuck with you, I don't really care what you think, man. It don't matter to me. Yeah. You bothering me now because I'm not going out of my space to bother you. I'm just not. I'm sorry. So didn't think we was going to get that heavy into that one, but all right. Well, I guess to stay on theme, what do you think you need from a partner or your partner to get out of a dark place?
I don't think I need too much.
Well, all right, but
just.
Are you a space guy? Are you a conversation guy? Are you hey, let me get through? Like, are you a routine guy? Like, let me get back on my routine because I'm off my routine right now. Are you like a kind of avoidant and like, hey, everything will kind of like rest itself on its own, and go from there? It's
situational which route I choose. But I think what I need is whatever route I choose, whether I either need the space or I need the conversation or I need whatever, I just need a level of understanding. Like, hey, I might say some shit right now that sounds irrational. I might say whatever. I need to get the shit out my head.
Yeah.
So I can hear because sometimes I'll say some shit. It doesn't mean I mean it. But, I got like this bipolar side of my brain that thinks like a rational side and an irrational side. And so sometimes I got to get the irrational thoughts out so I can hear myself say it and be like, nah, that's crazy. I don't believe that. Because I'm constantly devil's advocating on just pretty much everything in life. Yeah. So sometimes I might say some wild shit that I don't believe. I just need to say it out loud so I can confirm, oh yeah, that sounds kind of crazy. I don't believe that.
Yeah. You test your own theories.
It gets me in trouble.
Yeah.
But you said that. I was like, I didn't mean it.
Yeah. Why do I need to apologize though?
No, I said I was like, yo, I was wild. Like, I didn't really mean it. I just had to confirm that I don't believe it by saying it out loud. But that's not always.
It never works that way. It doesn't work.
No, I do apologize.
I don't.
Oh yeah,
I
yeah.
won't.
Well, he's
For what? Why do I have
For
to?
what?
Why do I have to apologize for my thoughts? You know what's crazy?
Well, you either want to be right or you want to be happy.
I don't care about being right though. That's the thing. I be telling
we know.
That's your daddy.
We got a fun fact for that too. There's a person. There's a name for that type of person that speaks about shit outside of their expertise.
Yeah.
But I don't care about being right, because we argued about facts before.
That's why I don't talk to my family now.
But about being right.
Well, no, I am right. I'm saying
Hey, don't mistake it.
They care too much about being right.
And it's like, what does it give you? Like I ask myself that all the time. Like, hey,
silence in the radio waves.
Hey, you got it is a great. Yeah, I need to make a shirt. Like, just says you got it. You got it. Yeah, you got it, man. That's all you. And that's passive aggressive too. It's dismissive.
Yeah, it's definitely dismissive.
It's dismissive. I mean, there's something for everything.
You gotta pick your battles.
Absolutely. Like, this is not the hill that I want to die on. Right? Yes, you can have this parking space. That's cool. I'm not gonna rage over that.
Die on that one.
And that's cool. Everybody got their own shit.
Mostly. So in the Costco, I only care about my Costco parking space in the summertime because I need the shady spot for my trunk. Because I usually hit Costco and then I throw Costco in there and then I got to go to Walmart next door. So shit's going to be sitting in the trunk. I want it in a cool spot. So it's not heating up because I got to go spend 25 minutes at Walmart before I leave and go home.
All 2,200 people that visited Costco that day, make sure you look out for Lex's needs.
I usually do a pretty good job. Well, it's not summertime yet, so we good.
Right. All right.
But yeah.
We good is crazy.
Yeah. Y'all got 60 days.
I guess if I'm in a dark place, I do need just time to think. I'm trying to revert back to like me being in a dark place and like seeing like what my behaviors were. I don't like to be bothered during that time because I need to critically think about like how things are going to be handled. So I guess to bring you to that, to see where you go, right? And you let me know where your thought processes is. Go back to the time where you had that car accident outside of the Kendrick Lamar show. Right? That was a dark time for you, right? Because there was a lot of things that happened. So what did you need like immediately, like days to come after that? Like now looking back, like what were your actions and everything? I told you we getting hot, baby.
I don't know how, no.
Would you? He said he wanted the pod and take it there. We there. I found an educated way of getting us there.
I don't know if I've recovered from it still.
Yeah, you better now. You ain't talking about it. It's not hot news off the press anymore.
Just because I ain't talk about it don't mean sometimes I don't talk about it for avoidance. Why keep bringing it up? In the immediate need was I needed to have a fire show. I was like,
what's that mean?
Like,
a fire show. You needed a fire show from Kendrick. Yeah,
please show up for me.
Yes, please. Yeah, you're good for that.
And then I don't know. I mean, I've been working on the whole like even this morning, right? Like, not the greatest way to start off. Look at my glasses, like, all right, man, come on, dog. Because, like, yeah, on one hand, they are on the floor, but they're on the same spot of the floor they've been at forever.
There's a justification.
And we've had, like, and G knows it. That's
gambler's fallacy.
He sees, right. Yeah. He sees it every morning. We have it's an understanding. And it just happened to be today. And to where it's like, yeah, I'm frustrated. But it got to the point where I woke up, went downstairs, was irritated. I didn't even say good morning to nobody.
So that's you in a dark place.
No, this is light work.
Okay. Well, I know, but the heavy, if that's just that what you do in the light, I can't imagine what the heavy is.
What I'm saying is, like, I'm working on the whole, like right before you pulled up, when I was outside, I FaceTimed him. I'm like, you know what? I'm even though, like, it's a done deal. I can't change the shit. It's already happened. I want to apologize for my attitude this morning. Even though I had, I'm rightfully frustrated and I just needed sometimes, like, just give me the right to be irritated for a few minutes and I'll be cool.
I feel like
the problem is when I don't get that opportunity to be irritated, to just get it off. And it's like, now we got to go on a back and forth. And it's like, I'm not trying to attack you.
Right.
I just give me a few minutes to be mad.
Right,
and then I'll let it go. But then that can turn into a whole day thing.
In my experience with women, they don't give you that time. Men do. Like for real. Like I can think of qualms that I've had with like men like over the last few years.
I'm not allowed to have a bad day.
Yeah, men let me have a bad day. Like, yo, whatever. That's up to him. You know, he want to act like that, cool.
You and God, player.
But so, like sometimes the picking or the extra comments and things like, fam, I didn't need that. I didn't need that. That's just my experience in the relationships I've been with women. They give you the extra comments or the extra sauce. My mom is good for that too. She's good for it. Look, I told you, here comes the sauce right now. Here comes. I'm not lying about this.
Nah.
My dad is a prime example. He be sitting here he got a similar route every day when he come in his house. He gonna come in here. He gonna clean up for about 20 minutes what he think is clean, right? He gonna go upstairs, change his clothes, take a shower, come downstairs, make a sandwich, turn the game on so he can hear it in the background, right? Sit down, eat in front of the TV, and he just want that time. You disrupt that time in that hour and a half time span when he trying to get his shit together, dealing with the people at work. Yo, it's a bad attitude for him. Because I called dude twice on Friday. Got the new MLB The Show, wanted to explain. You know, his 34-year-old son wanted to talk to him about the new game and how it was great. So he didn't answer the phone. Called my mom. I knew something was up, right? Well, he mad at me right now. I said, all right. So then I called him in the morning time yesterday. He like, what, man? Off the rip. That's what happens to men when you don't allow them the space to decompress sometimes. Look, I will give you this energy, right? But right now, just let me hold on to it for a little bit. That's it.
I can see that.
Yeah?
Especially when you're already having a rough day. You're like, I gotta go in this house.
Yeah, I've called you. Hey, man. Hey, look, man.
Before I walk up in here,
let me. I don't even want to deal with when men start with. I don't want to deal with. I don't want to hear about or whatever. That's what it is. Because most men that I talk to too that are in that same circumstance, it's like, look, just don't mess. You are one of them too. Your glasses, right? For Durant, it's his bobblehead. He done had a bobblehead that fell off. His son knocked it down, broke it. Said he came in. Nobody said a word to him about it.
He had to find out on his own.
He said, I knew something was off when I walked in. How you know?
Everybody looked like they was walking on eggshells.
He came in. He said, I just had to eat it, glue it back together, and just called it a day.
Gotta eat that.
Yeah, huh? Nah, it's an older one he had. But he said it was like, he said, I just looked at the bookshelf and noticed that the corner was missing.
I mean, but that's the thing, right? Not only do I gotta eat it, I gotta apologize for my feelings.
Yeah. And how I express myself.
And I feel like that. I don't know if that's a level of maturity or just like, hey, it just is what it is. Because before it's like, I gotta eat that, but now I'm about to have an attitude and it's gonna spread out and it's gonna be a rough day for everybody.
But why can't I not have one?
No, that's fine. That's where it comes.
You know what it's like? It's like your wife not understanding the Lakers losing.
Do you want? She didn't. 'Cause for the longest time, back in the day, before the dark years happened, the dark Laker years, right? Like post Achilles tear.
Yeah, he said post Achilles.
She like when we first started dating, she's like, "Yo, man, one loss will really just throw your whole shit off for a long time." She didn't know how to deal with that.
Yeah.
To the point where she had to become a fan because, like, man, if I don't root for him, I
don't know what else to say.
Because if they win, it's an okay day in the house.
Absolutely.
And then
there's some simplicity in there too. It's very simplistic.
Yeah, they don't understand. We are we're Neanderthal at heart.
Yeah. And I'm not saying women are not understanding. Let me make sure that I get this all off right now.
Pay your bills?
I'm not saying that because that sounds very passive aggressive, right? I'm not saying women are not understanding, but I'm saying in the communication barrier of what men typically care about and what women typically care about, it's not the same. Like the women that I know that are very sports heavy influence and pick a team and wear the jersey and shit, they have a little bit of an understanding. My wife so much, like when the Chargers lost to the Jaguars the second time, not really. Because imagine leaving Ocean Beach and on the freeway, me and Durant sick in the car, and the first thing she says, I don't know why you guys care so much. They do this shit every time. Yeah. But we were dead silent in the car. Yo, we were not ready for that conversation.
Yeah, you were silent because you're like, oh, she got a fucking point.
Yeah, she got a point, but I don't want to hear it right now. Let me be hurt. Like, yo, let me be hurt. Just like on the way leaving right now. My mom said, hey, make sure her shoes on the right foot. Close the door and dip. Hey, man. I'm trying to make sure that we can pod right now. You talk about some shit that I'm not even worried about. I was worried about the speed as to which she was getting dressed. Damn, which foot they on. But that's what's funny to me about that. Like when you look at dark places, like what's needed, bro. Sometimes we just need to communicate or see what our partner needs when they're in the dark place. And sometimes you got to give time. As men, we got to get off of it. Yes, we extremely care about something, right? I.e. our glasses, our teams or whatever. But we got to understand that there's somebody else out there that don't give a fuck as much as we do. That's the common ground.
Right. And you also have to communicate with your partner. Because I know for a long time, and I still kind of mess this up a little bit, like everybody obviously wants something different, right? So you want some space. And so naturally, if that's what you want, naturally that's probably the first thing that you try to give if you recognize
Absolutely,
that.
I agree with that.
But then they'll be like, no, I don't want the space. And I still find it hard because like she's like, no, if something's off, like don't give me the space. And I'm like, all right. But then when it happens, like my natural being is like, it feels like she wants some space. Because when I don't give her space, I'm a punching bag, and I don't want that. So let me just give you a few minutes.
Yeah.
And then it turns into a thing, and I'm trying to get better.
Yeah, I mean, you just got to be better at taking it. Pause. But I mean, you got to get better at taking it. You know what I mean? So, yeah. Shout
out to her, man. That was funny.
Yeah, I
don't know why you care so much. They do this every time. Not to mention the second.
She was right though, but it's like I don't want to hear that.
Not to mention especially the second time. Oh wait, now that I'm remembering exactly, you're talking about that Jaguar game. Yeah, that.
Do I want to hear that at that time?
That makes that shit.
Bro, I was
funnier.
in the bar. I sat outside in the rain and watched him make the field goal, dog. I wasn't even in there with y'all.
The fact that it was raining makes
I watched the whole ass drive.
Oh,
yes.
that was that heavy ass rain.
I was outside the bar, sitting down by myself, listening to everyone inside the bar yelling. And you gonna tell me, I don't know why you upset right now.
$40 hat getting soaked and ruined.
Yeah, dude.
Hey, the stitching on that jersey starts coming.
It's coming nasty, man. I don't need to hear all that.
Oh, man. Hey, you know why? See, what she needs to understand,
facts.
it's the energy level. Because I know earlier in that game, when y'all had like 5 picks, he was like, yo, hey, today's the day. You probably started popping your shit, puffing your chest a little bit, banging on the table.
The homies was like that too. Oh, you called a win.
You probably stood on a chair in the middle of the first quarter.
I threw out a few texts I wasn't supposed to throw out.
Yeah, yeah.
Hey, we got this in the bag.
You always got to put those in the draft.
Oh, I'm forever jaded.
In therapy, sometimes they say to write a letter to whoever you mad at and just don't send it, but you get the shit off. That's what the drafts are for.
I do that in my text too.
Yeah. Don't.
I've done that a few times.
Yeah, Debo got us. We would have won against the Celtics in 2008 if he would have just calm the fuck down. Doing that shit in a 7-game series is crazy too.
Yeah,
like, yo, we got to see them tomorrow, right?
Yeah, again, and they're angry. And they're angry.
And depending on who you throw them texts at, that's where the backfire hits a lot harder.
Yeah, real nasty vibes. On January 28th, 1969, a well drilled by Union Oil platform A 6 miles off the coast of Santa Barbara, California, blew out. More than 3 million gallons of oil spilled, killed more than 10,000 seabirds, dolphins, seals, and sea lions.
What you trying to do to me right now?
As a reaction to the disaster, activists were mobilized to create environmental regulation, environmental education, and Earth Day.
Yeah, it's coming up. Yeah. I already got my shit booked.
What day is it? I got my shit booked. We're gonna go with that. What day is it on?
22nd?
Yeah, he's a real Earth Dayer, man. I didn't even know what the fuck day it was.
Yeah, man.
But it hit me when they said more than 10,000 seabirds and dolphins died. That's kind of crazy, dog. You fucking up the ecosystem.
Ain't enough Dawn in the world. I was just talking about this yesterday. Was like, yo, how come Dawn, like, that's the go-to soap to like fix oil on the birds and do all that and clean up, and they do the commercials.
This probably has
on
no
it.
chemicals or stuff.
But
like
why
that.
it can't clean spaghetti sauce out of Tupperware?
Stain. You know about stains. You catch
I'm
stains.
saying they use that shit for oil on a seabird. But my Tupperware looks fucking crazy.
The color contrast is different too.
I guess. it makes me feel like, damn, is that some shit we should be putting on in our bodies?
What, Don? Oh, shit,
No,
we
I'm
get to say
talking
that
about the
anything.
spaghetti sauce.
Oh,
Like the way it's stained, like is that staining my inside?
it's probably
like
acidic though, too, though. There's
All right, man,
there's
well,
acidic content in
Shout
there.
out to the seabirds.
Shout out to
I'm
Earth
right.
Day, man.
Yeah,
I didn't
man.
know that. Did you know the origin of how it started?
Yeah, because it's been around since you said 69, right?
Yeah, 1970 is the year it started.
Yeah, it's fucking like the hippies and shit.
Yeah, I'm okay. I'm with Earth Day, man. Look, man, you it took you a while. I can see where it's draining because, like, honestly, when you first started bringing that shit up, I gave a fuck, but not as much as like the other day, right?
Yeah,
Speaking of Earthman and Earth Day shit, there was a box. Now, I wasn't really good about it, but I hope she was because the box is gone now. But like, I was like, oh, I need to go take this out to the blue bin because I can hear Alex right now, right?
Yeah, I like that.
And then she said, oh, well, I put it on the curb already. I dropped that shit right back near the trash can because I was like, I'm not walking all the way out there. Like, I'm not doing that. So the box is gone now, but I hope that she did it. But just the fact that, like, hey, what you've been saying rings loud, okay.
Yeah, I'm gonna try to break you down, whoever you are. Like, whoever's driving the truck the past couple months through my back alley. I know when they lift it up,
Get him a cup of water.
they be dropping shit, and they just keep it pushing, right? Because I walk through, be like, yo, I know, like, it's not even like some little shit. Maybe he didn't see it. Like, dog, this shit, I know you seen this, man. Get out the truck and throw that shit away. And then, shit, on the way home from school, we be rolling through the back way, and then G's getting to the point now where he sees it, he'll pick it up, throw it back in the trash. And he'll look at me if he's confused, like, blue or black. I'm like, that's the blue, dog.
Yeah.
That's the blue. And yeah, so I think our neighborhood is doing a composting event on Earth Day.
Look at what money gets you. You're not getting none of these people around here to do no composting event. They don't give a damn about that. See, this is what I'm saying. Yo, y'all do this, not y'all, because you lived here for a significant amount of time. But the people in your neighborhood never grew up in like these circumstances. And then once the economics don't line up, it's like, all right, let's go back now. Like, you saw my neighbors, the new neighbors right here. They replaced one for another, right? They are not afraid to be out here, man. They the only ones that can afford to buy a house out here right now. And they look like they love composting. They don't. He got big F-150 out there. He's fucking up the ecosystem for sure. Man. Yeah. Working from home often involves balancing official duties with kids. Studies have found that kids ask 300 questions a day on average. Yeah. That is one question every 2.5 minutes.
Yeah.
So I feel bad for any parent that has to work from home because I never put a number on it. I was never that like self-aware. But like kids do ask a bunch of questions or they talk a lot. So if you like during like pandemic days where kids weren't going to school but we were working from home and shit, that was a very rough time.
And this is the tough part, right? Because as a parent, all things being equal, you want to encourage that.
Right.
Because they're curious, they don't know shit, and they're trying to find shit out.
Yeah.
There ain't nothing wrong with that.
All of them.
But as a parent, where the sympathy and the empathy come in, was like, yo, you gotta shut the fuck up. Please. Shut the fuck up.
There's a time and a place for everything.
And it's always like, and it's yeah, there's certain times where I'm like, yo, this is a life or death situation.
Right.
Like at the dentist on Friday, I'm like, hey, they got the drill on.
Oh, you went to the dentist?
I took G to the dentist. That's where the whole
you
suck
didn't
my
go.
dick. No. I'm still scared. I'm getting there. We went to the, and that's how I knew. I was like, wow, I don't know if it's just like childhood dentist trauma, but like, what a lovely environment. Shout out to Coastal Kids in Eastlake.
Where'd you go as a kid?
I told by the DZ Discovery Zone. And
that's a solid area at the time.
And fuck it was. No, but I mean, like, I'm like, was it the actual stuff that was going on, or was it the sound of the drill and the sounds of everything, touching my tooth or whatever?
You ain't never got like a shot, oral injection in the mouth, like a shot?
Yeah.
That trips you out?
And then like they put G on the laughing gas, and I was like, I don't remember ever getting that shit.
Yeah. Maybe because, what's wrong with his teeth?
He was getting some fillings and some.
Did you have feelings as a young buck?
Me?
Yeah.
No.
That's where there's a difference right there.
Yeah, that's probably what it was.
You slacking right now. Help my man with his oral hygiene, man.
No, that's what I told her. I was like, yo, my man ain't never touched soda in his life.
He probably has soft centers.
limited juice, and like he eats, and then whatever he got last time, he cracked that shit right up, and I'm like, that was probably a blow pop or some shit, because he don't try to get to the center of the Tootsie Pop. He just bite that shit. I'm like, whew, fucking thug life. Is that what your life about? God damn.
Straight to it.
That's the most passive aggressive shit I've seen. That was like the act. That was the puffer fish. Like, damn, you just went straight for the bite. You want the bubble gum that bad?
Man.
But yeah, she was like, yeah, don't even.
How long you chew it for? 6 minutes?
Man, that gum in the middle of that one has like 2 bites before it just gets flavorless. Like fucking juicy fruit. No, she was like, no, it's not like a parenting thing. Like, it's just really tough, like, to brush kids' teeth. She was like, oh, I'm a dentist and my kids got cavities. Like, it's just really hard to avoid. And yeah, they don't, and I don't give them juice or whatever either. And it's just like, it kind of is what it is.
Give my man an electronic toothbrush.
He does have one.
Oh, all right, well, shit.
Hey, we're 0 for 2. Zeke 0 for 2.
Wow.
He lost his second tooth and lost it again. I ain't had, hey, thank you, son. I had to pay for nothing. Tooth Fairy just ain't showed up.
He sick?
It was loose. He came from it was the dentist day because his appointment was right before G's. He went to school. The dentist told him, hey, you know what? That's loose enough. All you're going to have to do is bite into an apple and it's a wrap. He went to school, bit into an apple. The shit came out. He thought it was a seed and spit it in the trash. He didn't even, the thing is, I picked him up from school. He didn't say shit about it until we got home. And I was like, when did this happen? And then he got upset. I'm like, yes. It's another dollar in my pocket.
$1. Oh, I see Alexander just for inflation.
Yeah. Fuck I do.
That's crazy.
Hey.
There's actually a word for someone giving an opinion on something they know nothing about.
Yeah, what's that?
An ultra crepidarian is someone who voices thoughts beyond their expertise.
That's not fun. I thought it was going to be more fun.
Nah, you call somebody a crepto. See, you can throw something on there. Crepto. Crepidarian is the word, though. I don't even know what crepidarian means,
Crepidarian.
though. Because it says ultra, so you mean you putting extra sauce on it. But, I mean, we do this pod, and I feel like some of that is crepidatious, right? Because, for me, before I throw something on here, I try to read about it beforehand before I give that information to someone else. And I also try to read about it from somewhere that is actually credible, right? And so it takes me back to a few weeks ago when Jonah was here. He was like, oh, you actually write shit down. I was like, yeah, because I don't want to spitball some things and to be ultimately wrong. You know what I mean? Like there's people, and it happens, right? It happens all the time, which is why we have We the People, or we have arguments in the first place, and I throw it onto the net to see what other people's views are on it, right? Because we all have a different view on things based on the facts that we are presented in front of us. And it doesn't mean, well, we're not going to do that. But no. How you feel about crepidatious people?
I mean,
you feel like I'm crepidatious?
Not necessarily. I think I don't know if I don't know if it's about things that I don't know if I chalk it up to I just chalk it up to mostly it's like, oh, people that just really like to hear themselves talk, so they'll put a 2 cents on anything, whether you ask for it or not. And so it's like, all right, man, get your little 2 cents in there. But I really don't give a fuck what you're saying.
Streets is like that to me. So when y'all say it to me, that's my bar. Like he's like that, and there's a few others. But the reason why I say that is because it's a great example. Because it's like people assume because we're on a podcast that I enjoy talking to people. I don't. I spent the first 4 holes being an asshole yesterday on the golf course with people that were really nice towards the end. And you know what I mean? So and it ended up having a good little business relationship where we probably can do some pods together, because I found out my man did a podcast literally leaving the golf course. We had just spent 5 hours together, and I got that shit on my bag, and we didn't have a conversation about that until literally getting off.
Probably because of what you were doing the first 4 holes.
Nah, because later on I started high-fiving him, giving him dab.
Yo.
You know who he looked like? He looked like the dude that does the interviews from Barstool Sports or whatever. The dude with the mustache. He had the mustache and he had the long-ass hair.
I just can't stop picturing you high-fiving people, white people on the golf course.
Absolutely. I was like, hey, I switched the whole vernacular up too.
I know.
Hey, dude.
Whole switch.
That's a great shot, bro. hand dap, hand slap, the whole thing. Oh, that's awesome. You use awesome in your repertoire? Oh, man, safe. Ultimately safe. 90% of U.S. money has cocaine on it. That's it. All right.
Oh no, I've been on that. I thought you were something I threw in there a few weeks ago.
What, a $5 bill?
No, about cocaine.
On the 5.
No, the cocaine.
Never mind, it's over here.
The biggest cocaine manufacturer in America is Coca-Cola.
It was. They don't have Coke.
No.
It's over with.
No, it's not.
Let me finish my shit before you get this off real quick. Because now you about to get me down the rabbit hole.
Yeah, 90%.
Pull the number up too. That while I read this shit, you better pull it up because I need. If you go throw it out, we're not being crepidatious. We're not crepidatious right now. I need facts. Either from exposure or drug use, a study revealed that 90% of the dollars circulating in the economy have cocaine on it. Traces of cocaine were found reaching 0.006 micrograms, several thousand times smaller than salt. The green dye on dollars causes cocaine residue to stick on the bills. Now that's crazy to me. So at some point, I mean, it's not enough to fail a drug test because they look for like a certain cutoff amount to be in your system before they even say hey, it's usage. But I can only imagine somebody's going in the drug treatment saying oh, it was on my $5 bill. And that, you know what? That comes from people rolling them up and snorting them in the 70s. The 60s, 50s, whatever year that people started rolling up dollar bills and snorting lines of coke on. But go ahead. Let's talk about Coca-Cola.
Yeah, it's still kind of a crazy number. Like that percent. I remember I heard this Snapple fact maybe 20 years ago. I was like, that's fucking 90%. And they print this shit every day.
It's wild.
So, yeah.
You put it on $1, it's almost like spreading COVID, right? You put it on $1, you put a bunch of money in your pocket or whatever.
Just damn, this shit been in circulation so long, it just it's bound to go in somebody's hand.
At some point.
So Coca-Cola produces as much as $2 billion of pure cocaine every year in a secretive New Jersey factory.
Okay.
All thanks to its iconic recipe and a very special arrangement with the DEA. The New Jersey plant receives up to 500 metric tons of coca leaves every year. No other company in the U.S. is allowed to import coca and make cocaine. After decoconizing the leaves for syrup, the narcotic is sold to pharma. You think I'm lying?
No, I don't. But I want to know what they do with like if it's not harmful to consume it though.
I guess there's there's got to be if they sell it to pharma, then that means there's some sort of medical use for it.
Right, but they're selling the bad parts to pharma? That's the question that I need to ask, right? Because the good parts, when I say the good parts, meaning the ones that don't have any adverse effects or anything like that, they're putting that in their recipe.
The leaves are used to produce a decoconized ingredient for the iconic soda, and the cocaine byproduct is sold to the nation's largest opioid manufacturer, which markets the powder as a numbing agent and typical numbing. So for dentists, so that numbing agent when you go to the dentist, damn, G was on that coca. That shit worked like a charm.
Yeah, see, you only read the headline. I need you to read the whole thing.
The unassuming facility in Maywood has been processing coca leaves for Coca-Cola for over 100 years and is now run by a chemical manufacturer called Stepan Company.
That's crazy.
It operates under special licenses issued to it by the DEA, and it's the only company in the U.S. permitted to import coca leaves to manufacture cocaine. And just this year, on January 30th, Stepan successfully renewed its petition for permission to continue importing the controlled substance into the U.S. 500 tons of leaves might produce something in the region of 2 million grams of coke, which, according to pharmaceutical company listings online, can be worth about $2 billion.
That's crazy. If it all comes down to money, man, at the end of the day, man.
And they've been doing it for 100 years.
That's crazy. That's Purdue Pharma all over again, dog. That's them. That's the whole reason. What was the name of that show, man?
Dope Sick.
Yeah, Dope Sick, man. I don't drink soda like that. I drink this carbonated water though. Let me find out y'all got coca leaves in there. Some people experience post-sex sadness. If you ever felt an intense feeling of sadness, anger, or distress after sex, you may have gone through post-coital dysphoria, PCD. It happens especially after an orgasm, specifically for men.
Yeah. Okay.
All right. A little bit of clarity that comes in. There's always a joke, right? They always call it post-sex clarity.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
That the sharpest your mind will ever work.
What am I doing?
If you got a big, that's usually what happens.
Hey, watch yourself. I have to put some bleeps in there.
You got to make. You got a big decision to make.
Okay, there we go. I thought you said something else. If you got a big, I say, yo, what's wrong with him, man? What's up with my guy right now?
Shit.
Nah, that you know what? Let's go there.
All right.
After having the clarity and laying next to my wife and his thing still made sense, I knew she was the one.
I mean that's clarity you be looking for a lot of times.
Absolutely,
right?
but it's that
the
simple.
first part of the clarity is like, who am I sitting next to right now?
Yes,
because a lot of the time you're like, why the fuck am I here?
Mm-hmm.
It's like,
a lot of the time it was like 99.9% of the time.
Man, I got dressed for this.
Yeah.
Damn, man, gas is $4.50.
What am I gonna do with my day now? The hunting is over.
What you about to do?
The hunting is crazy. A toxic podcast today. Go ahead and hit my hand claps. I got one that you would especially like. We podding today. I'm giving the people what they want. Is this what you want?
DJ on point.
It's a little lengthy.
Switch.
Yeah, absolutely. A little lengthy.
Absolutely.
I had to cut it down though a little bit. Read them in wheat. A few years ago, my brother needed help. I let him move into one of my rental properties, and we did it legit, legally wise, a lease and everything. Because I was renting to him at a break-even point, we agreed that he would do all the maintenance and the yard work. He has 4 kids and decided the hot water heater wasn't enough for him and his family. He decided to buy a hot water heater, and I told him to go ahead. But then he decided to take the cost of the hot water heater out of his rent. He said that he was not going to make upgrades to my house for free. I told him that the decision to change the hot water tank was his own. The one that was previously there was nothing wrong with it as it still worked. He stopped doing maintenance as a protest. He then stated that he wanted a new breaker box and I said no way. And he got bitchy about it. Then he started paying the rent late. I know a lot of developers, so it didn't take long for me to sell the house. He was upset with me because I sold the house and did not give him an opportunity to buy. He started bout mouthing me to my family, and a few of them started to take his side. Am I in the wrong? Now, before you answer, this is your own brother.
No, it doesn't even have to be that.
No, it has to be that,
It
or it could be a friend.
That's what I'm trying to put it more in that.
Like, because this is someone you know. Because I know what Business Lex would say. Matter of fact, this is Jonathan. This is Zoe. This is Mark. Well, it wouldn't be Mark, but that type of relationship is your man's. Oh, you know what? My man on top of the hill at 7-Eleven. One of those guys.
Yeah, because that's the part of me where I'm not so good at business, right?
The avoiding part of you would sell the house and then tell them later on.
I'm open to getting, not open, but I'm like more susceptible to like getting taken advantage of in that way. But stepping back, like, is he wrong? It's like, nah, because it's kind of like how it's like when people are spending their money for you, because that's what he did. Because he's like, yo, I didn't want to buy a water heater, but now I can't even get my break-even rent because you decided you needed something bigger.
Look at money, man. That's actually good.
You're spending money for me that I didn't need to spend.
Right.
And then tell me, no, it's all good. Just pay me back later. And it's like, well, I didn't plan on paying you at all.
Right.
You just spending money for me just because.
Because something doesn't work right for you.
Right. And so it's like, all right, cool. Like, I got a new water heater. But now I got to pay this other mortgage this month because you decided not to pay the rent. Because the water heaters are fucking expensive.
Absolutely. About $5,000?
No, I don't know.
About 4 or 5?
I sounded like he wanted a big one.
Yeah, he wanted a tankless one.
Yeah, that's going to run you about, that's probably going to run you about
$2,000?
Yeah.
I can do that.
All right, big dog, you got it.
I just want more closet space, like you said.
No, shit, it's worth it. But yeah, I mean, that's kind of what the least you could do is all the maintenance and all the whatever. You break it, you kind of buy it situation.
And he's at a break-even point on the property, like
because that's my point. Like, capital expenditures happen, right? Where normal wear and tear happens. You were living in my house with, it sounds like a big ass family.
Yes.
So y'all gonna be walking on my carpet, doing this and that. The least you can do is now in a normal world, it's like, damn, I just want the normal upkeep. Can you just kind of treat it like it's your own? It's hard to find people that way.
Absolutely.
But it's like, hey, this is your home for now. You're paying for it, but like, try to just make it your home and like treat it right. But yeah, if shit breaks, shit, I gotta buy it. Every fucking month I get my fucking bill with some shit popping off. I'm like, come on, y'all. But then, yeah, in that situation, like, all right, cool. You getting hella cheap rent. The least you could do is, and then you want to, now, it's a tit for tat of pettiness there, which I don't know. Like, all right. Yeah, I'm still going to say he's not wrong for selling the house because of how he started acting. Not only are you mad now. So now I know you got the money, but you want to pay it late.
Right.
And you're not doing the upkeep. And now it's like, if you become one of those like scorned people who's like, all right, this ain't my house. So now you just don't give a shit about nothing. And so now you're treating it like shit. So let me sell this. Let me get this off before I can't, or I got to put too much money in it to sell it. And I'm assuming he probably took a loss on it because he was trying to get it off quick. But nah, I don't think he's wrong at all.
Yeah, I think he's in the right. Especially if you read the beginning, right? I'm looking at the beginning and the end.
I was doing you a favor.
Your brother, yes, you were in a hard place. You reached out to me, right? And then I'm looking at the end. You mad because I didn't give you time to buy the house off of me, bro? You didn't have no money to come in here. You was paying the rent late. He asked questions in the synopsis that I had. I just cut it down. Where it's like, bro, if you were trying to take money off of the water heater, you weren't doing the yard work, you were paying the rent late. You know what I mean? Like you didn't have the money for all that. You know what I mean? So like, why would I sell this house to you or whatever, or give you a shot? And we're at odds right now. He actually served his brother. His brother got served with an eviction notice. So they came. He had already sold the house and he didn't tell them. So he's wrong about that. You got to be that avoidant trait right there is what caused him to spiral down and tell the rest of the family.
This kind of happened to me recently, right?
All right, here we go.
Somebody owed me some money.
Right up his alley, like I said. And that's not new. Keep going.
Somebody owed me some money, right? And
I've never owed Lex money. Let me get that out the way.
He wanted to show appreciation. So he's like, yo, let me buy you a steak.
How much money you owe you?
Like $300-$400, something like that.
Steak ain't enough, but go ahead.
No. It wasn't that. It was like, oh, while I'm waiting to pay you back, I'm showing you appreciation. So I'm gonna go grab some steaks from wherever, and I'm gonna come make one for you. So I'm like, all right, cool, whatever. Like, I'm not a steak guy like that, but fuck it.
He's cooking it.
Made the steak, big ass steaks. Shit was probably like $70-$80.
Well, you looking like, damn, I would have rather had this in cash.
100%, because I didn't realize that he wanted me to also like. And then while he was there, like, he threw me $100. He's like, I got you on the rest later, right?
That's crazy, because you could have just gave me $240. Wait. What size did he give you? Or is it just steak alone? If you ain't giving me no potatoes or no asparagus or something like that, we got a problem, big dog. You're not going to just come in here with just steak.
Yeah, I don't
know. I need a full meal.
I don't remember that part.
All right, my bad. Just brain.
The thing is, he got drunk. And that's where his like real thoughts were coming out. Because he's like, I appreciate it, man. I got you on the rest later. And then we were talking about something completely different or whatever. And then he's like, yeah, man. I forgot how it came out, but he's like, yeah, man. Shit, man, them steaks was like $70 though. And I'm like, so what you mean? I don't even like steak like that. I was cool. I had a meal prep in the fridge.
Yeah.
And then I was like, yo, I'm not gonna argue with him right now because he's too drunk. But I'm like, does he want me to take this shit off the tab? Like, no, I need that. You can have your little steak back. Take this shit home. Wrap it up.
But you get into an overarching thing. Keep going though.
And I was like, stop spending money for me.
In my experience, based off of this story and the story that you just told, it be the ones closest to you that always try to take advantage of you.
Oh, yeah.
It took me a long time. You know, my mom used to walk around and be like, you know, them ain't your friends, right? And them ain't your friends, like, hit harder post, like, 20. Like, in my 20s, mad taking advantage of a shit, right? And that's why, like I got friends that would try to swindle me on, like viewpoints. like Carl, you gonna always go do what you want to do. And at 30, you goddamn right. Like, yo, what the fuck are you talking about? Yes, I am gonna do whatever I want to do.
What does that mean?
Yeah, but to me, like,
no, I'm saying, why are they saying that to you?
I'll give you an example. Like they'll say like I'll have a rationale or justification for things. Absolutely. If I feel like I'm right about something, you're not a judge or a referee or whatever to tell me that I'm wrong on the play. Right? I'm not breaking the law, so I'm definitely not wrong in that regard. So in my opinion about those type of instances, right, it's situational. And we all can both walk away from a situation and feel like, hey, we were both right about something. I.e., an incident that happened between us a few months back, right? Not specifically us, but you know what I'm talking about. We both can walk away from that situation and feel like we were right and just realize that, hey, look, the relationship is just not gonna be what it used to be anymore, and that's okay. I'm okay with it. I can't speak for other parties, but I'm okay with it, right? And so my friends would tell me, right, what happened recently that I can use. I missed a golf tee time, right? It was pouring raining, like near my house, and I was like, you know what? I'm not going outside. These guys are crazy enough to want to play in the rain. Right? To me, it's not fun. The ground's not solid. You know, you hit the ball fat or whatever. I mean, like you hit the turf first, then the ball, and it don't go nowhere. That's not fun, you know? And it's hard. Even for pros, I watched them do it. So, like, even with that being said, they was like, oh, you selfish because you didn't. Well, I called bro an hour before we started, and I told him I would pay him for it if they still held him for having the time, right? How am I wrong about this? Or why do I keep getting the third degree? Well, you always do this. Yes, I always do it when it rains. And you guys always want to go out in the rain. And I come back with the same scenario each time. So with that being said, how is it that like I'm inconsiderate or whatever the case may be? Like you're taking advantage of like my kindness. I gave you a heads up. I told you that, hey, I would pay for it if it came down to it. And you're still trying to make me feel like shit for a situation that I shouldn't feel for. You get what I'm saying now?
How much of an inconvenience is it? They can't go unless you're there?
There was 3 other. That's same questions I'd be asking. So this is where I'd be asking myself.
Because if you offer to pay for it to where it's not costing them anything, it would be different if like they wanted to go, but they're like, it's kind of like the new restaurants where if your whole party ain't there, you can't sit.
Right.
So
no,
like,
that's not
you
that
said
situation.
There was 4 people. There's only 3. I can't
you can
let
play
you
golf by yourself. I play golf by myself all the time.
Yeah, that's a lot of energy.
For what though? You know what I mean? And so
they really enjoy your company.
But it be the people. But that's my point though. It be the people that's closest to you. You know it. I know it. Right? We done lost people that we close to in terms of like relationships that we've spent significant amounts of time with just because of, you know, whatever nonsense that's circling them, but it's those that's close to you that do the worst. Like for me, and I guess maybe you can answer this the same. I won't speak for you, but I'm just taking a hard guess, right? But like we can use the situation of the page master, right? It's like, bro, you can see everything that I'm doing that's wrong, but you can't see it on the other side. Where there's people that reach out to me and tell me like, yo, can you speak to them about this? And it's like, no, there's a God complex when talking to this person. So it's hard. I can accept the information. At least I would like to think I can. And I'll tell people they're right, they're wrong, or I'll accept that there was a different answer. But with this person, I can't have that conversation with them. And therefore I have to cease to have conversations with them.
Yeah. I mean, a lot of people just aren't there yet with that maturity. Cause that's a maturity thing where you understand the consequences of your reaction, and you're okay with the outcome of, oh, you know what? If I can't do this, I have to remove this person from my life, and I'm okay with that. Not everybody can do that.
And this is what this man did. He knew when you make a move of selling your house and your brother's in there, and he's going to get evicted. He's got 4 kids or whatever. You've already made peace with that and said, hey, look, the situation that's happening with this household is affecting me financially, and because they're my nephews or nieces or whatever in the house, right? I get it, but my brother should be able to bounce back. That's where the moral issue of why the family is siding with him, because they're thinking about the morality more so than the financial aspects or the logistics of things.
But it's also like, okay, like before that whole situation even unfolded, the landlord and I guess the tenant too, like they have to go in knowing, hey, you know what? This is a risk I have to take. This was a risk that they had to know going in. Like, hey, if I rent to my brother, I have to know that there's a slight chance some shit can go left, and that's gonna ruin our relationship forever. And if you're okay with that, to where you're like, that's worth the risk of me helping him out, then you got to be okay with the outcome of like, shit, I don't think we ever gonna speak again. It's a classic Goodfellas situation, right? When Paulie had to give Henry that when he was coked out and he came to him for money, and then Paulie loves him. Like, I watched you grow from a young child. I know you fucked up right now, and I want to help you. Even I know I'm gonna give you this money, and you're gonna go snort it. So he looks at him and he says, "Yo," and he gives him the money. He said, "Now I got to turn my back on you," because he had to protect himself. And then Henry took the money, knowing, if I take this money, I lose this.
Right.
And he took it. And so it's like, you gotta know, or at least you gotta think about, and maybe not everybody, maybe they didn't even think about it because they're just like, oh, we're brothers, whatever. You gotta help the family out. But you kind of have to take that risk assessment when you're going into those types of situations and be okay with the outcome. It's like, oh yeah, like they say, oh yeah, you shouldn't mix friends and businesses and that. It's like, oh, you can. But you just got to know going in, if y'all don't agree on some shit, it can really mess things up forever. Yeah.
I got a family member living with me right now. I think I just told y'all that like during the week because of a funny story that had happened, you know, involving a hat. But to shade that, right? Because I've had way too many experiences, right? The setup that I have is, no, you're going to pay me money for you living here. But that money isn't used for anything in the house. I am saving that cash for you. So once you get to $4,000 or $5,000, if you make it that far, you can go out and buy your own spot, right? You can't say that I gave you money for this, I gave you money for that. I can't say that I didn't give it back to you. I just provided you some time. I provided you a safe landing for you to get it together so that you're able to do what you need to do, right? And so for me, that's how I avoid shit like this. Because if you got to leave and you disrespecting my household, then you got to leave, right? And you got to leave with everything that you've already put in or given to me, like in this scenario.
No, that's not exactly the same.
I'm not saying it's the same. I'm saying that's what I do to avoid it.
Avoiding. No, you're avoiding.
I'm avoiding that you owe me something.
You're protecting your pride. You're not protecting.
Oh, we landed here.
You're not protecting.
We pie in the day.
You're not protecting the possible strain or ending of the relation. No, you're not.
I disagree.
Because if he starts disrespecting your house and you're like, yo, I knew the shit was gonna go left. I don't fuck with you no more because of this situation. Now you can be proud of yourself saying, yo, you can't ever say you gave me shit. Here's all your money back.
Absolutely.
That has nothing to do with protecting the risk assessment of, hey, if I let this family member live here, there's a possibility shit can go left and we never speak again.
No.
It has nothing to do with the fact that he paid you or not.
No, because well, I'm not saying that we would never speak again because we wouldn't even get to this level of this story right here. Because there's nothing you're walking away with. Matter of fact, you're walking out of here better than when you came in here, depending on the length of time of like what happens. Right. So like you're walking out of here in a better situation. Me, I'm walking out of here with just the fact that maybe my water bill went, like that's something that I can live with. I'm not mad about that. My water bill's up. Maybe my electricity's up a little bit, $20 or whatever. Right. But in the long run, that's not so much of a big deal to me. Like I've made it to where it's a minute thing. Now, if I was dependent on that money or whatever, now that's different. This man was dependent on that money for him to pay his mortgage. You get what I'm saying now?
But we don't know that.
What do you mean?
He might have been he might not have wanted to.
He said a break-even point.
Right.
He needed his brother to cover that.
I know, but I'm saying that doesn't mean he had extra cat to where he could have covered it a couple months and just been mad about it. The same way you you don't need that extra money to pay a higher water bill. You like, yo, I got it. Slight inconvenience. Because it never said that if his brother didn't pay the rent, that he wasn't going to be able to pay the mortgage at all.
Right.
It's just like, yo, the least you could do is cover the mortgage since you're here. Because normally a regular tenant would be paying the mortgage and some. I think we're saying two different points. My whole point was the risk assessment going into a situation with a friend or a family member when you're trying to help them out. You have to take the risk. You have to understand the risk of losing whoever you go into that situation with. Right? I'm not talking about, oh, well, you can't say that I did this and that, or I helped you out and my conscience is clear because I didn't come up off it at all. I'm not talking about that. My only point is the risk assessment of whoever you're going into a situation with, knowing the chance, God forbid something happens, and now it's like, okay, we can't be in each other's lives in the same capacity because this ruined everything.
I seen the guy put on Instagram where it was like, look, in your 20s, like the friends that you hanging out with, and it kind of hit hard because I knew what he was talking about. He was like, this is the most that you're going to see them ever in your life. Right? Like from age 0 to 30. He was like, after that, you start having kids. You start maybe seeing those people I'd look at like Mark. I talk to Mark every day, right? I talk to you every day, right? We share things. I see you every week now, more so than I did when we first started hanging out because the circumstances are different, right? But in hindsight, I probably see like my closest friends maybe 4 times a year, right? I probably see my family members outside of like my mom and dad 5 or 6 times a year, and they live down the street. So like my whole point in saying all this is that if the relationship changes in the current state of where my life is now and where I spend my energy, I'm okay with that. What I did was I invited you into my space, right? So that, you know, you can benefit off of it more so than I can. And therefore, like if the relationship changes, it just goes back to what it was initially.
I know, but that's what I'm saying. You're taking the risk assessment. You're okay with like, hey, you know what? You're okay with removing people out of your life for whatever the reason.
Yeah.
Not everybody does that risk assessment.
Or think about it in the fashion that I just said too, though. Like that's why I gave you the whole long ass like soliloquy and all that other shit. But yeah, all right, we're good on that, man. So we're at a breaking point. We're at hour 30, right?
Are we?
Yeah, it was great pod. It's a great pod, man. I didn't want to phone it in. By the time y'all get this, now that I can say it, right? I just came back from Hawaii. And so I wanted to at least make sure that if I don't give episodes the full run through of what they need, that I at least give y'all fire ass conversation. But this one was so good that I'm probably just going to have to work on this in an airport. So, end of the day, yes, I have the technology to do that. But at the end of the day, this is a great pod, man. We could do shows to watch or we can get up out of here. I'll leave it to you.
Yeah, fuck it. Let's get it. Or you got a 3 cheers?
Yeah, let's go ahead and do it. You got one?
Yeah.
All right, go ahead. You go first because you missed one last week.
You don't be cheering for shit. So we went to parent-teacher conference for Zeke, his first one.
Okay.
And model student.
Oh, yeah?
He's the only one in the class that can read. He be reading to the.
How'd that make you feel? Because I know you're a pride guy, right?
Yeah,
but you take pride in your shit. You take
shit. It's like, goddamn right. You the only one that read, right?
Yeah.
And he was reading before he even got into the class.
What grade is he in?
He's in preschool.
Kindergarten.
Preschool.
Oh, Zeke.
Yes.
Okay, I thought you said G. I was like, G.
No, those parent-teacher conferences go a little different. He be doing all right though.
Yeah.
But yeah, he
shout out to Zeke, man.
Yeah, I can see because I'm like, yeah, I was like, I see it happening now. I was like, all right, he might look like her, and that was it. I was like, this is me, which is great too because my mom stopped helping me with homework at like 6.
That's crazy.
Not 6th grade, like 6 years old. She was like, I hope you got it because
I ain't got it.
And yeah, so he just. And then going into school, we all like we knew like he was gonna be fine academically,
Right.
Because he's studious, he takes initiative, like that whole thing.
It's the behavior part.
He's reading at a first grade level or third or something like that. No, it's not the behavior; it's the social emotional.
Mm.
You know, he's very critical of himself.
That is you.
He's a sore loser.
Oh, that's
He doesn't. Yeah, like
sore.
Trying to teach him how to lose is a struggle.
yeah.
And just, you know how sometimes like he just be on his own time. Like, I don't need to be social. I'm cool over here by myself. And we didn't want him to like suffer in that way. But nah, he's like super social, saying hi and bye to everybody, gets invited to all the parties. Everybody wants to be his friend. And so I'm like, oh, so you just act like this at home, which is like fair, I guess. But yeah, so glowing remarks. You know, I think he finagled us out of some ice cream or something for it. And yeah, so he's I think someone told us the only opportunity to skip a grade comes at grade 1.
Yeah.
And he's probably gonna do it. He's big enough to.
But do you think like okay, so now we talking about the emotional piece though? Could he emotionally handle being with older kids like that?
By the time he hits first grade, I think so. Because he thrives like in a school setting, he's fine. He was fine when he got to daycare. But yeah, just for whatever reason, if we're going to like a party or something like that, and he don't know the kids, like he's getting a little better, but he'll just be like, nah, I'm cool over here playing by myself or doing whatever. And he's real shy at first, takes him a little minute to warm up. But I think everything else, he'd be good because he's going to be on the same level with them in a lot of different ways. Because you should see how much bigger he is than every single kid in that class.
I can see it. Bigger than all my kids. Oh man! All right, there we go. Shout out to Zeke, man. I want to give a shout out to Clarence Thomas.
Oh, all right.
Yeah, man.
Where are we going?
Here we go. Supreme Court Justice Clarence Thomas reported that his family has earned rental income from a Nebraska real estate firm that has been shuttered since 2006. In recent years, Thomas reportedly continued to disclose between $50,000 and $100,000 in income from the old firm annually. It remarks the latest question about the justice's financial practices after a recent ProPublica report revealed that Thomas has accepted secret luxury trips from Republican mega donor Harlan Crow. We got him.
Okay, I was like, what are we cheering?
We got him. I do not like this dude. I swear to God I don't, man. And I don't even mean to swear to God like that or use his name in vain, but I cannot stand Clarence Thomas. So I want them to keep digging.
He be having y'all looking bad.
Yeah, absolutely. Keep digging. Like, for real. Get him the fuck out of here, man. We out of here on that. That's what I'm cheering, though. I'm cheering that man's downfall. Hella passive aggressive, all that. Speaking on shit I don't know, crepidatious, all that, man. Get him out of here. Shout out to the listenership. Shout out to y'all who been rocking with us since day one. And shout out to y'all rocking with us since day 1.1. You know what I mean? I appreciate y'all. We coming out with hot shit content all the time. And we going to have some new guests coming up for the summer. Who you calling?
I forgot there was a skid in the front.
About to say, what you doing?
My mom's and pops
We out of here.
Jamaican rum and whiskey. What a set off. Should have pushed them dead off. Wipe the sweat off. Cause in this world I'm dead off. Squeeze let off. Been sped off. Ain't no shook hands in Brookland. Army fatigue. Bring fatigue to enemies. Look, man, you wanna see me locked up, shot up. Mom's crotched up over the casket. Screaming bastard. Crying. Know my friends is lying. Y'all know who killed them. Filled them with the Lugas from their Rugas or the desert. Dying ain't the shit, but it's pleasant. Kinda quiet. Watch my niggas bring the riot. Giving cats the opposite of diets. You gain 30 pounds when you die, no lie. Lazy eye, I was high when they hit me. Took a few cats with me, shit, I need the company. Apologies in order to Tiana, my daughter. If it was up to me, you would be with me. Sorta like Daddy Dearest, my vision be the clearest. Silences so you can't hear it. Competition still fear it. Shit, don't ask me, I went from ashy to nasty to classy and still.
That's not all. MCs have the gall to pray and pray for my downfall. Pray and pray for my downfall. Pray and pray for my downfall.